Hello and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Igwebiki.
All right, it's the season to be jolly, and we hope you are enjoying the warmth, joy, and togetherness that come with the Christmas holidays. We are delighted to have you join us today. And you know how we do it now. On the program, we'll begin with a review of the day's newspaper, and shortly after that we will dive into the main conversation shaping public discourse today. You won't want to miss a moment, trust us. Do join the conversation by liking and following us across all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. So today, joining us to unpack the matters at hand is Emeka Madunago. He is a journalist and a public affairs analyst. You're always welcome, sir.
Good morning, Emeka.
Good morning. Good morning. Compliments of the season.
We wish you the same.
Thank you so very much for your time
Yeah.
now and always. So let's start with the Punch newspaper for today.
Okay.
Big story: budget crisis. National Assembly extends the 2025 fiscal year to March. And right to that story, Senate reps passed a revised 91.8 trillion naira 2024-2025 budget 2026 appropriation bill passes second reading.
Okay, on the top strip there we have 2027 Turaki camp films as INEC reject PDP excos.
And equally, Ekiti domesticates the Nigeria Tax Administration Act.
We also have NBA article demand new tax law suspension.
A very funny one, actually, very ridiculous at the same time. Federal government orders takedown of terrorists' social media accounts. Rather than going after the terrorists themselves,
they have to take down
asking that the accounts be closed down, like they won't go recreate another one.
Do you understand?
Very, very funny. What it is. But Emeka, let's start with the National Assembly extending 2025 fiscal year to March. What does it actually mean, and what are they saying here?
Yeah, what it just means in a nutshell is that they are trying to remedy certain defects and possibly over assumptions in the 2024-2025 budgets. Of course, there were grandiose assumptions, but for instance, 2025 budget, the releases have been so, releases for capital budget, for the capital budget have been so poor, not more than 30%. So of course, they just rolled it into Tinubu, President Bola Tinubu directed the MDAs to roll their 2025, the remaining 70%, because as of December, only 30% had been taken care of. So to roll 70% into next year's budget, so they now consolidated it, 2024, 2025, and then now passed a portion of it. Why? Because of ongoing projects, ongoing projects, so that they can take care of ongoing projects. Because, President Tinubu just, I think he delivered the 2026 budget to the National Assembly on December 17. It will now be passed, it will now be sent to committees, and all of that. So in order for ongoing projects not to be stalled, they now had to roll the 2025 budget to March. But the problem is, this administration has now developed a bad habit of, multiple budget cycles. You just keep rolling one budget into another, and the budgets have become just a joke. I know generally in Nigeria, for decades, our budgets have never gone beyond 30% performance, but now bringing up multiple budget cycles worsens the situation, and it's not helpful for Nigeria. Thank you.
Go to another story still on the Punch newspaper. So we're going to be taking 2027 Turaki camp films as INEC rejects PDP exco. So Mr. Emeka, please can you just tell us more about this?
What do you think here?
Seriously,
do we see an eventual collapse, total collapse of the PDP with the complicity of INEC, if I might use that word?
There's no complicity anywhere. There's no total collapse.
Are you still there?
It's just the fact that both sides, Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yes, you can continue your thoughts. Okay, I think we're having a bit of a challenge hearing Emeka on that particular one, and he was speaking to the Turaki INEC, because I talked about complicity at this point, because the Turaki-led PDP seems to be the one widely accepted by everyone, and those who equally participated in it. And the question I talk about complicity is that, is it because, according to Makinde, who said that while they were having a meeting with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that Yeltsin Wike said that he was donating PDP to Tinubu. That was in 2023. Before 2023.
Yes.
That he was donating PDP to Tinubu, right? And because of that, I would love to believe the need to see PDP not exist is not there. Because if the Turaki-led NWC is accepted by INEC, then it means that PDP still exists. Emeka, are you still there?
I don't know what happened, though. I don't know what happened. The
All right,
line
okay.
just the connect.
All right, we can hear you now.
So what I'm saying is that there is no complicity. Sides are in court, and then remember, to Sule Lamido, I went to court to say he was excluded from, that he was not given a chairman, a form to run for chairman under the Makinde faction. So what INEC is saying is that with the pendency of the suits, he cannot recognize either side. He can't recognize the convention where Turaki's executive was produced, and he can't recognize the Wike-backed faction. Well, the point is that it's good they're in court, because INEC too should not overplay its hands. It was the same thing they tried with the SDP, but thankfully the Supreme Court has now told INEC to mind its business. And it's very clear. I think INEC is just trying to be clever by half. The Supreme Court had ruled that the issue of leadership of parties is an internal matter of the political parties. And then the NWC, the interim NWC, led by Umar Damago, has expired. Its tenure expired on December 8th. Today is December 24th. Will the party, if the party is an organic unit, are you saying that the party will be without a recognizable leadership? I mean, it's not possible. It's not possible. So I think INEC called a meeting and called the two sides. But the same INEC had observed and monitored the governorship primaries in Osun State, held by the Makinde faction. It sent 5 officials there. So, and then it rejected a request by the former National Secretary, Sam Dadi Anyanwu, for, for recognition of its caretaker committee. So you are now saying that there won't be any, executive for now. Why? There should be a way to resolve these things, because we know the judiciary also has its own part, and then of course it's very clear, like what Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, said that the FTT minister Nyesom Wike was he is being used by Tinubu to destabilize the opposition parties. So when we look at it, I also have to suspect that the judiciary has a hand in all this crisis. But one thing we must realize is that if we thwart democracy, if democracy fails, all of us will suffer the consequences. It doesn't matter whether you're in judiciary, executive, or legislature. All of us will pay the price. Thank you.
This is actually quite disturbing, because we cannot operate democracy when opposition is not in existence. I do not know the card President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is playing, but I love to believe that the scale would one day fall off his eyes, so he understands the consequences of some of these things, and that what he is trying to bring all to himself might not be his at the end of the day if this continues, and if the opposition refuses to do what the opposition should
even
do.
Any card is played, even if he thinks that he can even make things done. We as Nigerians, we are urging, or we are imploring our president to at least make the cards, like he should play the cards well, that will benefit every one of us.
Definitely.
Right.
So let's move to the Daily Trust newspaper. We have less than 5 minutes to do that. And straight to the talking point, Emeka. Officers are missing as terrorists attack civil defense post in Niger. Now, this question equally tangles with another one here. Terrorists using POS machines for ransom collections, and equally ties to another issue again, which we had read in the Punch newspaper. Federal government orders takedown of terrorist social media accounts. Emeka, why are we moving in circles like we don't know what the issue is? We all keep moving in circles. The federal government is asking that the accounts of terrorists, now terrorists, before they used to be known as bandits, so they baptized them to terrorists now. So they ask for the closure of the accounts as if that would make them go back to their homes. And what's happening?
As funny it may sound, it's a serious issue.
But Emeka, what's your take on all of this moving in circles?
Let me tell you what's going on. The US is likely to begin. Is the US likely to start bombing those terrorists any moment from now? It has, it attacked their supply routes, from Benin Republic. The US has taken over the airspace between Nigeria and Benin Republic, the border, between Nigeria and Benin Republic. And it's, it has been flying, his aircraft have been flying all over Nigeria, monitoring, locations of these terrorists. And it's going to strike any moment from now. As at this morning, there was a video on Instagram where a terrorist was saying that the Nigerian government should not bomb them, that they are ready for peace, but you're still holding on to your weapons. He was saying it. He was speaking in English that they are ready for peace and all of that. So that's the pressure. Time is running out on the Tinubu administration to do anything. They are thought that maybe Donald Trump will drop the idea of bombing these guys, but he's going ahead with it. So talking about taking down their accounts, it's just laughable. Because even this morning, I've seen, these guys don't just operate on social media. Like ISWAP. Can I tell you that ISWAP has a radio station? They operate a radio station. ISWAP has newsletters in English, in Arabic, I think in about 4 or 5 languages that I distribute. So even if you take down their social media accounts, what about the newsletters that they're distributing? What about the radio station? What about the radio station they're using to reach out? What have you done about that? You went to great lengths to block Nnamdi Kanu's Radio Biafra. Why are you not going to great lengths to make sure that ISWAP cannot broadcast into Nigeria? So those are the contradictions in all these things. It's not about taking that. You don't even need to announce. That's one of the funny things these people do, just to show what they say, show working. You don't need to announce that you're taking down the accounts. Take down the bloody accounts. Take down the accounts, and then whatever else you need to take down, the terrorists themselves, take them down. Let's have a peace. But you have to wait for for the United States to now get ready, to move into action. Then you have to wait, till now to release Sunday Jackson, who was, wrongfully convicted, by a high court, federal high court in Adamawa, and the sentence was upheld by the Supreme Court, despite protestation, despite the fact that the ACJA, Administration of Criminal Justice Act, was severely violated in that matter. But as of yesterday night, the Adamawa State Governor Umar Fintiri granted Sunday Jackson a pardon, and he was released last night. I think his last child also, who was 8 or 12, because the matter has gone on for 15 years, who was 8 or I don't know, who was just maybe he didn't even know, he never even knew the child, because I think the wife was pregnant around the time the trial started. So all of these things, injustices that the judiciary lends itself to, is unfortunate. So taking down the accounts, that one is a waste of time. Donald Trump is going to, of course, he's going to teach them a lesson. This complicity in criminality by people in government has to stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, this brings us to this story. Well, I feel 2026 is going to be a year of, in fact, so many activities, good activities, right? So we have here on the Vanguard newspaper on the top strip, NIN CAC numbers to become tax IDs from 2026.
And
That's
coming from
FIRS.
Emeka,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Please do well to share your thoughts on this.
these people are just being funny. These people are just being funny. The same FIRS gave me a tax ID some years ago. I don't remember, was it 2022 or so? They were just calling people to come. But I said, but our personal tax IDs are supposed to be given by state governments, not, because I pay my personal income tax, to Lagos State government. So why would you now be giving me a tax ID? But we were two of us that went that day, So I saw the second person the other day, and he said, he has been making use of the tax ID, that he hopes they've been remitting the money to the Lagos State government. I said, okay. But well, me, I've been paying my own through another means. So to say that the NIN, so why are you using the NIN now? NIN that has been severely compromised. Just try I think there's a code you can try on your phone to see how many phone numbers are connected to your NIN. So when you now decide to use it as tax ID, for how many people? Just so when you check it like that, is it not, how many people are you connected to? I think something like star 996 hash or so, that you can use to check how many numbers are linked to NIN. So when we begin from that, this thing has been compromised, and then you are telling people that you use it. Normally, look, this is the 21st century, for crying out loud. You can easily generate tax IDs for all Nigerians. It's as easy as ABC. All you need to do is just the Joint Tax Board, in conjunction with the CBN and banks. You have the database, you have the NIBSS, Nigerian Interbank Settlement System. You can just, with that, get the database of active accounts that have been active in the last maybe 3 months or so. And then you just issue automatic tax IDs to those. It will even pop up. If there are those who don't have tax IDs, it will automatically pop up. And then we'll be talking about consolidating the IDs. You have BVN, you have NIN, you have passport, you have the driver's license, you have voter card. Consolidate everything into just one card, so that it will be easy for, for tax revenue purposes, for education purposes, for security and all of that. But because jobs for the boys, people can't resist, people in office people in power cannot resist the law of corruption. So they have to insert those things, they have to keep those things running so that there can be jobs for the boys, so that they can, actually get spaces to put their people in those commissions. So it all boils down to our love for doing the wrong things. Thank you.
I still wonder what Bosu Tijani, the Minister of Communication, and what else again, from that long position he has. I do not know what he is doing at this point. He's very good at speaking good English, and all of this would have been, the example Emeka just gave now, would have been at his desk. He should understand those things better on how to generate tax IDs with the informations, the database that he has. But all he does is curate Gen Z type of programs that will gladden the ears and the eyes of Mr. Bola Tinubu, and they will clap for him and say he is a whiz-kid in tech and all. But of course, that's what we have. All of this will be contested, hopefully, and possibly we'll get better results. Emeka will still be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Hardship. Federal government takes 52% revenue. Stop blaming governors. Radda of Katsina says. In the beat is still Enterprise morning. We'll be right back.
Stay with us.